Today, I'm gonna be seeing if you can complete GTA 5 using only shotguns. I'm not gonna be using the assault or heavy shotgun because those seem a bit too easy to use. Also, I'm not gonna use the musket. Even though it's in the category, it just doesn't feel like one. I chose shotguns from this comment. Feel free to comment a weapon you wanna see. Here are the rest of the rules, and let's get into it. Shortly after starting the game, we unfortunately have to add our first non-shotgun kill. You are forced to shoot a security guard that takes Michael hostage, and there is no way to get a shotgun to do it. I even tried just injuring him, which didn't work. After blowing the guard's brains out, we ran outside and were met with some police. I waited for Brad and Michael to kill one that had a shotgun. I picked it up and used it to take out the rest of the cops. As we were making our way to the car, I realized it had better range than I initially thought. We drove to the getaway spot where Trevor abandoned his friends right after they got shot. While repoing cars for Simeon, I hit and killed an alien, so I restarted. It must be that alien's destiny to die because Lamar sent his ass flying on my next attempt. Oh, fuck. Once I gave the cars to Simeon, I went to a sawed-off shotgun location. While there, a woman walked up to me, and I was delusional enough to think she wanted to talk to me. Ooh, who's this baddie? She did not like me, fuck. That's basically what happens when I try to talk to women in real life. Anyways, I picked up a few more and went into the next mission with 12 shells. Lamar and I repo a bike from a gangster. When we opened the garage, we were caught by some of his friends and a gunfight ensued. I was kind of worried about running out of ammo, but luckily someone I killed had 40 shells on him. We cleared out the rest of the alley and I shot the guy as he arrived. After that mission, the shotgun is available at ammunition, so I stocked up on some shells, then went to repo yet another car for Simeon. I snuck in the house, got the car, and as I was driving back, Michael pulled a gun on me. When we got back to the dealership, Michael forced me to drive through the window. Simeon was understandably a little upset with Michael and wanted to fight him. Even though it wasn't breaking the rules, I still didn't want to punch him. I tried to buy a shotgun from ammunition, but they were closed. The game wouldn't even let me get in a car, so I couldn't drive to a pickup spot either. In the end, I had to melee him, which took 11 hits. Once I was done calming Simeon down, I went to chill at home. There wasn't much time to relax, as Jimmy called me and said he had been kidnapped while trying to sell my boat. Luckily, Franklin had come over, so he was there to help. He jumped on the boat and got taken hostage by a guy you are forced to shoot. I tried getting out to shoot him a few times, but it was pretty clear the semi was too fast. During those attempts, I noticed a ramp which I thought could be used to land the car on the boat, which would allow me to hop out and shoot the guy. This was harder than Michael Jackson on Epstein's Island, but I ended up getting pretty close a few times. Oh, no! No! What the fuck? No! Perfect. Perfect. Not perfect. Not perfect at all. After a couple hours of trying, I decided it might be a good idea to test if the car would even be able to stay up there. So I switched over to a version with mods, and after some pretty thorough testing, it was clear that this probably wouldn't be possible. I still do have a tiny bit of hope it is though, so if you can land up there, kill the guy with a shotgun, and prove you did it without mods, I'll give you a kiss. After killing the guy, I rescued my worthless son and repaired Amanda's car. Later on, Franklin stopped by Michael's house again, only to find out Michael had caught his wife sleeping with the tennis coach. Michael isn't a cuck, unlike some other people, so they both chase him and pull down what they think is his house. Right after that, Michael tried to recreate those videos where Arabs drive on two wheels. It didn't end well. On the way back, some people in SUVs tried to kill us, but I quickly took care of them. When we got home, Madrazo showed up and told us it was his house. He politely asked for some money to repair it, and we eventually came to an agreement. I met with Lester, who said he'd help get the money, but I had to commit an act of terrorism for him first. So I went to the Lifeinvader office, helped a gooner clean his computer, planted a bomb in a phone, then used it to kill Jay Norris. Michael needed to chill after that, so he took Jimmy for a bike ride on the beach. Jimmy lets it slip that Tracy is on a boat filming for her OnlyFans. I rescued Tracy, then killed the guys that came after us. I switched over to Franklin and met up with Lamar and Stretch. We went to a meeting with D, a guy we tried to kidnap earlier. Turns out D set us up, so we had to fight our way out. The shotgun was super fun to use in this mission. It's perfect with it being close quarters and everything. Once we got outside, I downed the helicopter, which took more shots than my alcoholic stepdad did before he beat me. Then we hopped a wall and got a card to escape the cops. I dropped Lamar and Stretch off, then switched to Michael to scout a jewel store with Lester. After we were done with that, I chose the heist setup and got the rifles we needed from a noose van. At the start of the heist, I almost let my intrusive thoughts win and shot a cat, but I would never do that. When we got to the jewel store, I accidentally broke open a case with my rifle. I restarted and let my crew member do all the work. We hopped on bikes and went to the LS River where I had to take out some cops. This part was a little tricky to do with the shotgun. I would drive in front of the cops at a sort of sideways angle. They would hit me, I would get out, make sure none died on impact, shoot them, then repeat the steps with the rest. The bikes got in the back of the truck and I drove them to the drop-off. I went to Michael's to celebrate and Dave showed up to ruin our fun. We switched to Trevor in the middle of the cutscene. He wants to take out a bunch of the lost, so I followed some bikers back to their camp and killed everyone I could find. Then I went and blew Ortega's kneecap off. I met up with some Chinese dudes after that for a business meeting. While on our way to tour the business, Chef called and said Ortega's men were coming to the lab. Aztecas began attacking shortly after I arrived. This part wasn't hard, it was just kind of annoying. Some of the guys took a lot of shots because they were so far away. I cleared out the Aztecas, then went to the airfield to kill more bikers. When you are on the water tower, you are prompted to snipe the bikers. I tried getting as close as possible with my shotgun, but there was no way it would have been able to reach, so we have to add 9 non-shotgun kills. Once I shot the helicopter down, I went to the airfield and took out the bikers. While Ron was starting the plane, I hopped on the wing and he started taxiing down the runway. You are normally forced to have an AK in this part. However, I did a glitch that allows you to equip any weapon. It's kind of cool because like with the AK, you don't have to reload whatever gun you choose. When I got in the other plane, a biker jumped on my wing. For the longest time, I thought you couldn't avoid killing this guy, but this time when he fell off my wing, he lived. I don't know if I just got really lucky or what, but I'll take it. After I dropped some packages in the ocean, I met with my Chinese buddies again. They told me they were working with the O'Neills now instead of me. I went to the inbred farm and started killing them. I stayed in this barn and most of them came to me. Something weird did happen when I tried to get into the house. It was almost like the doors and windows hadn't fully loaded in, which prevented me from going inside. I ended up exiting the mission. On my retry, I sprinted to the house to see if the doors loaded in. Luckily they did. This time when I was killing them, a guy jumped in front of my shot to save his brother, or maybe it was his dad. Let's be honest, it's probably both knowing the O'Neills. I stayed in this spot and let the rest of them come to me. I poured the trail of gasoline and lit it with my shotgun, causing their house to get destroyed. Trevor made his way back to the trailer where he met with Wade. Wade lets Trevor know he found Michael in Los Santos. Before they go, Trevor wants to kill the remaining bikers. Instead of throwing the sticky bombs on their trailers right away, I shot all the bikers first to not risk killing any with explosives. Then I detonated the sticky bombs by shooting them. After paying Wade's cousin a visit, Trevor went to meet up with his old friend Michael. When he got there, both him and Michael found out Tracy was being a bit of a hoe on Fame or Shame. We both went to the studio and chased Laszlo away. While on my way to talk with Dave, I briefly forgot I was doing a shotgun only challenge and hit a bike robber with my car, so I was forced to load a previous save, then go meet with Dave. I knew this mission was going to be a little tough because I didn't start out with a shotgun since my guns were upstairs. First, I snuck by the initial guard, then tried to kill someone that had a shotgun, but got gunned down. When I respawned, the game gave me the pistol from the initial guard. I decided not to use it since I hadn't killed him. I continued trying to beat the guy with the shotgun, which I failed at every time. I also tried running past everyone, which did not work. When I noticed something, Michael was a bit of a pussy. He barely had any strength. I figured that was contributing to me not being able to kill the guard in time, so I exited the mission and started to increase his strength by playing a shit ton of tennis, and I mean a shit ton. I started the mission again. This time I was able to get the shotgun before dying and started killing everyone on the ground floor. By the time I made my way upstairs, I had used all of my ammo. Luckily, I was able to get my bag of guns, refill my ammo, and shoot out the window. Hello. I decided to redo this mission to try and avoid killing that guy with my fists. Turns out I just didn't try hard enough running past them all. I was able to get my bag of weapons, kill them all, then hop out the window. So those hours I spent playing tennis were all for nothing. Great. I love wasting my life. I escaped the cops, then went home to do some yoga. After yoga, I took Jimmy to buy drugs, which he ended up using on me. I saw some monkeys, then found out my family left me. I did the only thing a man can do in this situation: excessively drink, drive, then end his pain and suffering. I drove to meet with Dave and Steve. They told me I had to rescue Mr. K from the IAA. Trevor pilots a helicopter as Michael rappels down the building and breaks into the room. He takes Mr. K hostage and you are switched to Franklin. Multiple agents have their guns pointed at Michael, and if you don't shoot them, they kill him. I tried shooting a few of them to see if that would trigger Michael to fight back, which it didn't. I ended up having to shoot 6 people before Michael would start shooting as well. He was able to take out everyone except one guy. I switched back and forth to see if that would make Michael shoot him, but that didn't work, so I had to shoot one guy as Michael, raising our total non-shotgun kills by 7 for this mission. There was another guy that I was kind of nervous about because Michael didn't kill him immediately. All I had to do though was switch and switch back, then Michael would shoot him. After that, I switched to Trevor so Michael could shoot down the helicopters chasing us. There's also a helicopter trying to kill Franklin in this part. They kill him pretty quick, so this section was a little tough. I was bumping into it, trying to get it close to a wall so they'd explode themselves with a rocket when this happened. Oh, let's go. I have no idea how our helicopter didn't explode, but I'll take it. After giving Mr. K to the FIB, I went home as Franklin, where Lamar had just got done clapping Aunt Denise's cheeks. Trevor shows up and we all go to a drug deal, which goes horribly wrong. We end up having to shoot our way out of Grove Street. There were a few parts where my health got pretty low, but overall it wasn't too bad. We jacked some jet skis from MC Clip, who got ran over by the gangsters chasing us. I tried to avenge him using my sawed-off shotgun, but I don't think I hit any of them. I escaped the cops with Trevor, then met up with Lester. He wanted me to assassinate someone at a hotel. I was actually struggling with this part a bunch. It was mostly from me being an idiot and trying to kill him in a cool way. Sneak attack, motherfucker. Fuck. I ended up getting him midair as I jumped off the roof and was barely able to escape the cops. Later, Steve called me and said to meet him at a warehouse. While there, I removed some of Mr. K's teeth for the tooth fairy. He eventually gave up enough details about the guy we have to assassinate. I failed a few times to see if there was any way I could glitch equip a shotgun, but I couldn't. It probably wouldn't have reached anyway. I shot the guy, then dropped Mr. K at the airport. After Trevor was finished with that, I scouted a port and picked the offshore approach for the heist. Since in the other approach, you have to snipe a bunch of guys, I got the submarine and the cargo bob without any problems, then started the heist. Very impressively, Trevor was able to teleport into the submarine as it was midair. We flew to the spot in the ocean where the device was, picked it up, then had to fight off some Merryweather. I just piloted the helicopter as Michael while Franklin shot them down. When I dropped off the submarine, Trevor impressed me again by being able to get out while it was upside down. The cripple shows up to ruin all of our fun and makes us return the device. Once that was done, I took a taxi to a meeting with our Fed friends. The taxi I arrived in phased through Trevor's truck. They want us to rob an armored truck. I needed to grab some stuff beforehand. First, I got a tow truck. I tried to bribe the guy with the prostitute, but he didn't seem to be interested in her. Maybe he was more into femboys. Then I got a garbage truck along with some disguises and started the heist. After smashing into the armored truck, I threw a sticky bomb on the back door and shot it. This mission was easier than winning a game of basketball against disabled children. The only part I was a little nervous about was taking out the snipers, but I was able to easily reach them as Franklin. I didn't even need to get that close. When the snipers were taken care of, I switched to Trevor and shot down the helicopter. I picked off any stragglers as Franklin and destroyed the garbage truck in 15 shots. Michael delivered the bonds to Devin, then went over to Solomon's office. He wanted me to go get some actors for him. I knew this was gonna be a stealth mission, so I stopped at ammunition and bought the bullpup shotgun with a suppressor. I made my way to the roof, taking out any worker that was in the way. You are forced to fight Rocco when you get to the roof. Like with the Simeon fight, I wanted to try not punching him. If you take out any gun, Rocco stops trying to fight you and stands still. I got as far away from him as possible and shot him, which didn't kill him, but the mission failed because the actors got scared. I tried that same strat a bunch and they got scared every time. My new strategy was trying to get Rocco off of the roof so the gunshot wouldn't scare the actors. First, I tried to get him to fall onto the lower part of the roof by this ladder. Not gonna lie, he kicked my ass a few times. Eventually, I pushed him off. He didn't survive the fall though, so I moved to the stairs and tried to push him down those. Once he gets about halfway down, he gets scared and tries his hardest to run back to the top. He would also grab onto this wall a lot, which was very annoying. Stop fucking grabbing that wall. Oh my... I attempted to get him to the bottom of the stairs and shoot him from far away for about an hour every time he died. He must just take too much damage from falling down the stairs to survive a gunshot. If you're wondering, I used every shotgun I had, none made a difference. I tried a few other things like meleeing him with a shotgun and standing on top of the helicopter for some reason. In the end, I fought him, which took 11 punches. For the next part, you have to fly erratically to scare the actors. Apparently, they grew some balls after seeing Rocco get beat up because they were no longer scared of gunshots. Even when it was millimeters from their head. I took them back to Solomon, then went to get a couple cars for Devin. Nothing interesting happened in these missions, other than Aunt Denise absolutely yapping in an email to Franklin. And I guess me making extra sure Chad wasn't alive was a bit interesting. Madrazo called and told us to meet with him. He wanted us to kill his cousin. He already had a sniper set up at the observatory for Michael to shoot the plane down. I failed to see if I could equip any different guns. All I could do was scroll through my pistols. They wouldn't even equip. So I shot the plane down and began chasing it as Trevor. As I was following it, this person hit me with their car. They must have been on crack or something, because even after they hit me, they were still driving like an I can't say that. I don't have any Asian friends. They were still driving like a woman. Wait, I've never talked to a woman. I can't say that either. I followed the plane till it crashed and killed the cousin and his friend. I also found out that the pilot survived the crash, or at least he did until I shot what I thought was his dead body. Michael destroyed the sniper van in 27 shots, then found out Trevor kidnapped Madrazo's wife.
Oh no!
The game switches you to Franklin to steal a car for Devin. It was on the set of a movie studio. I killed the main actor first because he disrespected a woman.
I'm sick of looking at your face!
He should have known better than to do that in front of a nice guy like me. She'll definitely want to sleep with me after this. I killed the security guards and got the car. The studio sent some more guys after me, but they were really easy to take out. Franklin calls Michael once the car is secured. Michael explains to him what's going on. After their talk, Trevor decides he is going to ram a crop duster into a cargo plane that's carrying a bunch of guns. The guys in the back didn't give me any problems, neither did the pilot. Once Trevor takes control, some jets shoot him down and he was forced to bail out. Then Michael, Trevor, and Lester scope out a bank in Paleto Bay. I shot the security alarm and we waited for the cops' response time. When they arrived, we heard they were setting up checkpoints along the highway, so we raced back home. In the tunnel, I chose the race over my friendship with Trevor by trying to hit him off the motorcycle, which he wasn't too happy about. When we got back, Franklin called to say he was trailing some O'Neills. They eventually crash and run into the woods. You are switched to Michael, who's in a helicopter piloted by Trevor. You are supposed to snipe them, but I wanted to see if anything would change if I failed the mission. Nothing did, so I shot 2 of them and switched to Franklin. I found the last brother and killed him. I'm sure his sister wife will miss him. After that, I went to get the supplies we needed for the Paleto score. On my first attempt, I had worse aim than Helen Keller. I missed multiple shots that were basically point blank. On my second attempt, I was able to clear out the army guys and deliver the supplies. The heist starts off with us breaking into the bank and taking hostages. A crew member cuts into the vault as the cops arrive. We grab the cash and meet the cops head on. It's really hard to die in this part since you are essentially wearing a suit of armor. The military is called in, and after fighting them for a while, Franklin picks the crew up in a bulldozer. We narrowly escaped into a factory. I was messing around with 2 cocks, aka chickens. When they teleported to the bulldozer, shortly after I ran over to them, a tank shot the bulldozer, killing me. I obliterated those chickens for baiting me, then started killing the army guys. We made our way through and hopped on a train to escape. Going into Derailed, I had convinced myself that it wasn't gonna be that bad. I don't know if I was more delusional then, or when I made a Tinder account and actually expected to get matches. It hurts so much. After taking out the 3 boats that show up, I would swim over to shoot down the 2 helicopters that spawn. That was the easy part. To kill the 4 snipers that showed up, I had to climb up this hill, which was very finicky with letting me walk up it. Can't wait to get sniped, or just fall back down. Jesus Christ. Then I had to walk up this narrow part of the bridge, kill the sniper up top, then somehow make my way down to the other 3. Oh yeah, they can also shoot through random parts of the bridge. Oh my god, I forgot they shoot you through the fucking bridge. Oh, great. Also, I don't know if this was because I was playing the quote-unquote enhanced edition, but for some reason, Trevor would randomly glitch and move super fast on certain parts of the bridge. What was that? So that made this part extra annoying. After a ton of attempts, I was able to kill all 4 snipers. It started off like every attempt did. I took out the boats and the helicopters, made my way up the annoying hill, then killed the sniper up top. I nearly fell off, getting to the other side of the bridge. Thankfully, I didn't, and made my way down, killing the rest of them. Another helicopter spawns with 2 paratroopers. I easily took down the helicopter and went to the paratroopers. One of them ended up falling down the side of the mountain, so I only had to shoot one. I was trying to figure out a way to get down when I got too close to the edge. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. Luckily, it only took me about half an hour to replicate that attempt. Obviously, I didn't want to try the same route down again, so I decided I would climb back on the bridge and parachute down. After wasting more of my life dying over and over in this game, I had another good attempt. I chose a slightly different route down to the final 3 snipers, which almost ended horribly. Oh! No! Oh! I got down to the ground, took out the helicopter along with the paratroopers, and started looking for a way to the boat. There was this hill that I was slowly walking down when Trevor slipped. Please! Oh, please, please, please. please. 23 bucks. Let's go. Once my asshole was unclenched, I got in the dinghy. I drove it as Michael while Trevor shot Merriweather that came after us. We made it to the beach without any other issues. Then I went over to a dock where I met with Steve and Dave. We hop on a dinghy and break into the Humane Labs to steal a nerve agent. We took out a few people as we made our way to it. Once I grabbed the nerve agent, we had to fight through security as well as the army. Trevor took it to get loaded on a semi, then gave Madrazo his wife back. After that, I did surveying the score, where we surveyed a future score. I know, you probably would have never guessed that. The only cool thing that happened was me accidentally RKOing my own helicopter.
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Fuck. Once we were finished with that, Michael and Trevor had a conversation about what happened in North Yankton. Trevor eventually deduces that Brad is likely in Michael's grave, so they both rush there, and when Trevor finds what's really in Michael's grave, he throws a fit and runs away. A bunch of triads show up, but you don't have to kill any of them if you run in this route I did. When Michael gets to his car, it doesn't start and is kidnapped. The game switches you back to Trevor. I tested my landing skills by going to this mission near Franklin's old house. We got the last car for Devin, then started driving to the meeting point. Some cops see us and begin chasing us. I put the semi here in hopes that Trevor would slowly get it turned around while I killed all the cops that came. He ended up detaching the trailer and failing the mission. Since that wasn't gonna work, I did the strategy where you stop in front of the semi and take out the cops like that. Trevor brutally ran over a pedestrian, which I found pretty funny. Holy shit. Then we dropped the cars off to Molly. Once we were done getting scammed by Devin, Trevor let Franklin know that the Triads kidnapped Michael, but he wasn't gonna help rescue him. So I went to the meatpacking place where Michael was and started making my way through the Triads. When Franklin reached Michael, he threw him a pistol and the game switched me to him. My plan was to obviously shoot as few people as possible. The first few attempts were just seeing how many people Franklin could kill and who he could or couldn't damage. Franklin would take out 4 guys pretty easily, then 2 would spawn on my left that he would start to focus on. It was pretty obvious that Franklin couldn't damage these guys as they would have no reaction to his bullets. I still gave him a few attempts at them though, but in the end I shot them both and he started focusing on the other guys coming. This part took a lot of attempts because the guys would end up killing me or Franklin. It was also kind of annoying because randomly the guys would start fully focusing on me. Oh my fucking god, dude. Eventually, Franklin was able to get them all. He did it in a pretty short amount of time on the successful attempt. The game switched me to him. I killed 2 with my shotgun, then got tackled by a guy with a knife. I shot the guy that was on Franklin, then we fought our way out of the factory and made it back to Michael's place. Once Michael got cleaned up, I met with Lester to tail a janitor for a future heist. We followed him home from work and politely took his clothes. Before I started the heist, I had a couple things to do. First, I got my family back, which might have been a mistake because this was the first cutscene with them after they moved back in.
You're just a total douche, Dad. You know that?
What was that?
You heard me!
Then I went to the movie studio where I saw Rocco beating up Solomon. I chased him down and with the help of this bus, I was able to kill him and his friend in one shot. The heist starts off with Michael doing what I'm probably gonna do for a job when my channel inevitably fails: prostitution. If any of you want a thick 5'11" baddie, I'll be at these coordinates. After Michael plants the bombs, Franklin explodes them. The crew runs up to the floor where the containment drive is. It's behind a door you have to explode, so I threw a bomb on there and shot it. Franklin grabs the drive and we start making our way out of the building. He gets knocked unconscious from an explosion, which separates him from the crew. I had to kill a few agents when I was making my way back to them. We rappel down an elevator shaft and get into the fire truck. We got to the getaway car where I destroyed the fire truck in 16 shots. Then I went over to the movie studio. Devin was shutting down Michael's movie for a big insurance payout. His assistant Molly grabs the only copy of the movie from Solomon and takes it to the airport. Michael got in a crazy chase with her that led to the deaths of many innocent people. It was all worth it because Michael got the movie back after she got sucked into a jet engine. You can always make more people anyways. I met up with Dave and Steve after that. Steve tried to screw us over. Guns were pulled, more agencies showed up, and this guy became more open-minded. Michael was making his way through a mixture of Noose and IAA guys when he got pinned down by a buzzard. You were switched to Trevor and prompted to shoot down the helicopter. You can't switch weapons in this part, and I was very confident Michael or Dave wouldn't be able to shoot it down. Nevertheless, I still gave them a few tries, but they weren't even shooting at it, so I took out the pilot autopilot, then gracefully made my way down as Trevor. I shot a few people, then switched to Michael, where I hit 3 guys in one shot. I killed a bunch more people as I made my way to Dave. Once I got to him, we went to the parking lot and escaped in some cars. After losing the helicopter that was following me, I met up with Trevor. All he had to say, other than insulting Michael, was that he still wanted to rob the Union Depository. Franklin's ex showed up to let him know something was wrong with Lamar. Lester was able to track his phone to a sawmill up in Paleto Bay. Michael and Trevor showed up to help. I put Trevor in the front assault position, then switched to Franklin to hit them from the back, just like I hit your mom from the back last night. Too bad she kept asking me if it was in yet. Maybe I should start jelking. This made it really easy to reach Lamar. The harder part was getting him out. My health was pretty low for most of this section, but a combination of Trevor helping and using wood as cover, I was able to get through it. On the way back, we both fell off the dirt bike. As I was waiting for Lamar to get back on, a truck driver said this to him. Oh my, that's gotta be racist. I tried to do some stunts to take Lamar's mind off of what happened to him, but most of them didn't really work out. He also might have taken some brain damage, considering he tried to get back on the bike like this. After Michael was done helping Franklin, he went to the premiere of his movie. When he was there, Devin showed up and said something was gonna happen to Amanda and Tracy. I sped home with Jimmy, walked inside, and shot a guy that had Amanda hostage. When I went to save Tracy, I shot way too early and killed her. The game didn't immediately fail me, and I was able to get another shot off. The cutscene played, and her dead body was on the ground. Then I had to clear the rest of the house. It was really easy. I stayed on the stairs for most of it, and they kinda just came to me. Amanda and the kids moved out after that for the time being. I went and chose the obvious approach for the big score. I had to get a few things for it. First was a drill. I decided to take Lester's advice and got it without drawing any unneeded attention to myself. Then I got a getaway car and went up to Sandy Shores for a train. I used my shotgun with a suppressor to take out the 2 workers, then picked up the train as Trevor. As I was flying to start the big score, I accidentally performed a stunt with the helicopter. Holy fuck! Okay, the heist began with Michael and Chef causing a distraction in the lobby, which allowed Franklin and the other crew member to drill into the vault below. I had to blow open some doors, which I did by shooting sticky bombs I had placed on them. Some noose started coming out of the tunnel. To take them out, I just stayed in cover and blind fired. Once I was done with the initial guys, more came from the opposite end. They were pretty easy to take out too, some just took a few shots. After that, we hooked the gold up to Trevor's helicopter and took out the remaining noose in the vault. Then we are switched to Michael, who has to fight his way through a lot of cops. At some point, Franklin joined him and we started making our way to the getaway car. This part took a little while to do, not necessarily because it was super difficult, though I did die a few times. It was mainly just waiting behind cover to heal, then getting close enough to take out cops. We eventually got to the getaway car after killing what seemed like hundreds of police. Once we lost them, I switched back to Trevor, who had some Merryweather helicopters coming for him. All I had to do was keep the helicopter steady for Lester as he shot them down with an RPG. We dropped the gold on the train and all met up at the airfield to celebrate. When Franklin got home, Devin showed up and gave him 3 options to choose from. A and B were so bad, I had to choose option C. Lester helped Franklin come up with a plan where the group would meet at a foundry. I picked Lamar up for extra help. When we arrived, I showed him how much I appreciated him risking his life to help me. I went into the foundry with Michael and Trevor. We got into our positions and waited for Noose to arrive. When they did, I barely had to move to shoot them. Lamar ends up needing help outside. Shortly after Franklin went to help him, Trevor stopped responding. So I switched to Michael and made my way over to Trevor. We took out the rest of the noose and went outside where Merryweather were waiting for us. They were pretty easy to take care of. One of their helicopters almost fell on me, but other than that, there were no problems. Once everyone was dead, we met up and talked about who else we needed killed. First was Mr. Chang as Franklin. The sawed-off shotgun made this part a little easier since I didn't need to get off the bike to kill him. On the other hand, I took a lot of damage since there's basically no protection on a bike. Next was Stretch as Michael. This one was really simple. I just hopped out, shot him, and escaped the ballas. For Steve, I waited till his Ferris wheel cart got close to the ground so my shotgun would reach him. I had to kill some cops on my way out, and after a police chase that lasted way too long, I went to Devin's house. There was some Merryweather at his place I had to take out before I could get him. I gave him a warm hello, took him to a cliffside where we had, quote,
"A few minutes for some one-on-one time."
Basically, a day later, Michael and Franklin showed up. They helped me push him off a cliff, ending his life along with the game. I had a total of 25 non-shotgun kills. Not to glaze you guys or anything, but thanks for the support on the last video. I didn't expect it to do that good. Anyway, I'm gonna go gamble my life savings away. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See ya.